Every time you make a profit on your investments, the government want a piece of the pie. Usually, that's 20% or more of your hard-earned gains before you can even touch them. But there is a legal loophole in the UK, and I want to emphasize the word legal. This loophole allows you to pay exactly zero tax on your investment growth, your dividends, and your withdrawals. Today, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about one of the most powerful wealth building tools in the UK, which is the Stocks and Shares ISA. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what one is and how to set one up. And that's probably the basics that you expect from this video. But what we'll also be talking about is which investments are right for you. And we'll also run some numbers so you can get an idea of exactly what big amounts of cash you can expect tax-free later in life. Most people start by investing in a standard general investing account, and I can't blame them. On the surface, that does make a lot of sense. However, this is a big mistake because if you are successful with your investments at some point later in life, you are going to hit tax thresholds. And in 2026 in the UK, those thresholds are tighter than ever. As an example, if you invested £20,000 in the near future and that grown into an amount of around £100,000, you can expect a tax bill in the tens of thousands. But the Stocks and Shares ISA deletes that bill entirely because it is a tax wrapper. And the tax wrapper is a bulletproof, or should I say HMRC proof, shield for your money. Now, of course, there are some rules surrounding the Stocks and Shares ISA, and these rules are relatively simple, but they are very strict. Rule number one is that you can put up to £20,000 into your Stocks and Share ISA every tax year. On average, this works out at around £1,666 per month. In my opinion, this is a very generous amount for the average investor. Not one person on our bank statement breakdown series here on YouTube has actually managed to max out the amount every single month. But it's not about maxing it out, it's about using it to your advantage as you see fit. Now, this allowance resets on April 6th of every year, and if you don't use it, you lose it. It doesn't roll over to the next year. But for most people, as we just mentioned, this won't really matter too much. Rule number two is that you must be a UK resident, and rule number three is you must be 18 years old. Pretty simple stuff, and the best part about the Stocks and Shares ISA is that you don't have to wait until retirement. You can take it out whenever you want. Okay, so now you know more about the Stocks and Shares ISA, but how do we actually get one set up? What you'll be glad to hear is that it's a very simple 5-step process. Step number one is basically just to check that you're eligible based on the things we just discussed. So as long as you're 18 years old, you're a resident of the UK, and you haven't already maxed out your £20,000 allowance elsewhere, then you're good to go. Step number two is the initial registration. Now, there are a bunch of different platforms that offer the Stocks and Shares ISA to UK residents, so feel free to do your research, ask ChatGPT which one is right for you. But the one that I personally use and the one that I recommend using is Trading 212. It's a very popular option for a lot of people, but I do believe that it has one of the most easy to use interfaces and is extremely beginner friendly. So for this step, the first thing you do is download the Trading 212 app or head over to their website. Select the account type that you want to open. Of course, in this case, it is the Stocks and Shares ISA. And then you'll provide the usual personal details. We're talking about your name, date of birth, email address, and that basic stuff. Step number three is the verification, which is essential to get going. The good news is that Trading 212 uses automated systems, so you are waiting minutes, not days. You'll have to provide your national insurance number. You'll do a identification check, which is basically you looking into your camera like Face ID, and you'll have to verify your home address. Usually a utility bill or a bank statement. So the boring stuff is done in those first three steps, and now we move on to step number four, which is funding the account. Now, the minimum deposit to get started is just £1, so if you don't feel too comfortable with everything going on right now, just put £1 in and start to get familiar with things. A bank transfer is the preferred method of payment because it is pretty much instant and free, but you can also use a debit card or Apple or Google Pay. Keep in mind that when using a debit card, the first £2,000 worth of deposits is free, but there will be a small charge after that. And it's very important to note that Trading 212 does not accept credit cards. But if you are planning to invest by using a credit card, you should probably reevaluate your situation and maybe watch some of our bank statement breakdown videos to see where you can improve your financial situation. Investing on credit cards is bad. So now I've finished telling you off, we move on to step 5, the final step, which is to start investing. And like I mentioned in the intro, this is where we're going to talk about what investments might be right for you. This is where the arguments come in across many investors, because it is buying individual stocks versus buying into index funds. When buying into individual stocks, there is typically a higher risk reward associated to it. There may be higher upside returns if you pick the right stocks, but it does require your time and attention. You have to research which stocks you want to buy and why, and then you have to keep on top of those stocks' performances to make sure that they are still heading in the direction that you are hoping. Now, this is something that you might grow into over time, but my recommendation is to start with a simple index fund. Index funds typically have a lower risk reward. Take the VWAG for example, which is basically the UK's version of the S&P 500, which accumulates your dividends and your returns over time. Historically, this gives an average return of 10%. And to some people, 10% might not sound so inviting, but it is a complete buy and forget system. Now, for those who don't know, the S&P 500 is basically a fund that represents the 500 biggest companies in America. And realistically, you're not going to keep on top of all 500 companies. That's why people just buy these things, keep compounding, keep adding to it on a regular basis, and just forget about it. Now, there is a very popular feature on Trading 212, which is where you can create a pie. You can choose multiple stocks, set your percentage levels for each stock, and every time you deposit, it will automatically distribute to your chosen stocks. And for those worrying about the prices of individual stocks, it is important to note that you can buy fractions of a stock. You don't need to buy one whole share in a company. But to quickly summarize, it's very simple. If you want to go deep down the rabbit hole and start following these stocks and really getting involved as an active investor, then you might start to pick out some individual stocks. However, if this is absolutely no interest to you, but you do want to start building up that retirement fund, then maybe you want to look at index funds such as the VWAG. By using an ISA, you are not just saving on tax. You are accelerating your journey to financial freedom by years, if not decades. And this is through the power of compounding, something that a lot of people seem to overlook. They don't really understand the true power of the snowball effect. So let's run some numbers to put this into perspective. If you invested £300 per month over a 30-year period, you would be left with around £678,000. And roughly £570,000 of it is profit, which means usually you would have roughly around a £140,000 tax bill because of this. But because of this tax wrapper, it is zero. Now, 678 grand in 30 years doesn't seem too bad at all. But if you kept that rolling for just 5 more years, your retirement portfolio would be clearing £1 million. Now, I know what you might be thinking at this point. Why did it take 30 years to get to £678,000 and then it nearly doubled after just 5 years? Well, that is the snowball effect in full force. That is what compounding is all about. The longer you leave it, the earlier you start, the better. And if you do watch the bank statement breakdown videos on the channel, you'll see a bunch of different examples that people are really putting into practice. People are allowing us to check out their bank statements and really put it under the microscope. And they're realizing that those subscriptions that they're paying for but don't even use, them weekend takeaways or the odd night out, is costing them thousands, if not millions, in the long term. Just tweaking a few small changes to your monthly spending could make you a millionaire. So if you do want to see more about that kind of stuff, feel free to check it out. So if you haven't opened up your ISA for this tax year, you are leaving money on the table. Go and get it done right now. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you need to start small. Everybody has to start somewhere. But the earlier you start, the better. So if this video was helpful, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe down below, and feel free to leave any comments if you do have any questions. I'll do my best to get back to every single one of them. And if you'd like me to take a look at your bank statement and show you where you can be saving and investing even more, do check out the description down below. There will be a Google form where you can provide the information that we need to do this and to put a video out for you. And don't worry, it can be completely anonymous. But yeah, I do hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. you.